Some of the hardest battles you'll ever fight as a man won't happen in your business or your career. They'll happen inside your home. One unexpected hurdle many successful business leaders face is staying motivated to grow when your spouse isn't interested in growing with you. Maybe you're reading books, listening to podcasts, working on your habits, trying to grow spiritually or emotionally, or as a leader, and your wife just doesn't seem to share the same hunger. Maybe she's tired. Maybe she's overwhelmed. Maybe, she simply doesn't connect with self-improvement, right? The way you do. But either way, it can create this quiet tension inside you. You want to grow, but you don't want to drag her with you. You want to get better, but you don't want to make her feel like she's not enough. And here's the truth most men don't say out loud. When your spouse isn't as motivated as you are, it can feel lonely. And sometimes it can even tempt you to slow down, just so you don't feel like you're pulling ahead. But hear me, your growth doesn't have to create distance in your marriage. You can keep becoming the man God is calling you to be and love your wife right there where she is. Those two things aren't in tension. They can work together beautifully. Today, I want to show you how. The Bible speaks into this exact dynamic more than you might expect. Romans 12:18 tells us, if possible, so far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. That means your responsibility is your growth, your obedience, your heart, not controlling the pace of someone else's journey. Galatians 6:4-5 says each person should test his own work, for each will have to bear his own load. You are accountable before God, for who you become, not for pushing your spouse to grow on your timeline. And 1 Peter 3:1-4 gives a powerful picture of how spouses influence one another, not through pressure or lectures, but through character, consistency, and gentleness. Real change often happens without a word, because the truth is God calls you to grow. God calls you to love, but God never calls you to control. You can lead your home well without forcing your spouse to match your pace. Now, that doesn't mean this won't be difficult. It's easy for frustration to creep in. You can start thinking, why am I trying so hard when she's not? Why doesn't she care about, this the way that I do? Or even, why am I doing all the work? And those thoughts, if left alone, grow into resentment. Resentment then grows into distance, and distance grows into a marriage where you're no longer growing in the same direction. But the opposite is also true. When you stay motivated, not out of pride, not out of comparison, but out of obedience to God, and you love your spouse without trying to improve her, something powerful happens. You create safety, you create peace, you create a home where growth is possible, not forced. Your wife is not your project, she's your partner. And when your growth flows out of love instead of expectation, she often becomes just more open, not less. Here's how you can live this out practically. Number one, separate your growth from her pace. The first step is to accept the simple truth. Your spouse doesn't have to grow, the same way you do for your marriage to be healthy. She might not read personal development books. She might not listen to leadership podcasts. She might not enjoy goal setting or habit tracking, and that's okay. She's not resisting you. She's simply wired differently, or she's just in a different season, emotionally or spiritually. So instead of asking, why doesn't she want this like I do? Ask, Lord, what are you calling me to grow in right now? When you take responsibility for your own growth and let go of trying to manage hers, everything gets lighter. Number two, lead with example, not pressure. Nothing shuts down a spouse faster than feeling judged, compared, or less than. So instead of saying, you should start doing this too, or why don't you care about this like I do? Let her see the difference growth is making in your life. She sees your patience increasing. She sees your tone softening. She sees you showing up with humility. She sees you loving her more intentionally. A changed man is more powerful than a persuasive argument. Quiet consistency speaks louder than pressure ever will. Number three, communicate with compassion, not comparison. If you need to talk about this, do it gently. Something simple like, I'm focusing on growing because I want to be a better husband and better father. I'm not asking you to join me or match me. Just know that this is coming from a good place. This kind of honesty builds connection. What hurts connection is comparison. I'm doing all the work. Why aren't you? I'm improving myself. Why aren't you? Improving yourself. Comparison creates defensiveness. Compassion creates safety. Number 4, guard your heart against quiet resentment. Even if you say it out loud, resentment can grow in quiet places in your heart. Fight it with gratitude. Every day, thank God for something you love about your wife. Her loyalty, her kindness, her steadiness, her faith, her love for your kids, her sense of humor. A grateful heart grows. A resentful heart hardens. Gratitude doesn't make you blind to problems. It keeps you grounded in love while you grow. Number 5, build a support system outside the marriage. You cannot put the weight of all your personal growth on your spouse's shoulders. That's too heavy for one person to carry. You need other men in your life who push you, challenge you, sharpen you, pray with you, and keep you pointed toward God's calling. Find a mentor. Join a men's group. Build friendships with men who love Jesus and pursue excellence. When you have support outside the home, you won't feel the need for your spouse to, fill a role she's never meant to fill. Number 6, keep investing in your marriage with no agenda. Your wife doesn't need pressure. She needs pursuit. Plan the date night. Start the conversation. Ask how she's really doing. Invite her to share your dreams. Show up with, thoughtfulness and joy, and do it without any hidden agenda, not because it will move her forward, but because you love her. When a woman feels safe, loved, and accepted, not improved, her heart often softens towards growth naturally. But even if it doesn't, you're still honoring God and leading your home well. Number 7, celebrate any step, no matter how small. If your spouse takes even a small step in a positive direction, affirm it. Don't over-celebrate it. Don't label it. Just say, thank you for that. It means a lot. Affirmation builds safety. Safety opens the door to growth. So here's your challenge for this week. Choose one area where God is calling you to grow spiritually, emotionally, physically, or as a leader, and pursue it wholeheartedly. Not with pressure, not with comparison, not with, the expectation that your spouse needs to match your pace. Just simple, consistent obedience. And then love your wife as she is. Be patient, gentle, steady, and faithful. Your growth is not wasted. Your consistency is not unnoticed. Your example is not invisible. God is working in you and through you. He can work in your home in ways you might not see yet. Keep going, keep growing, and trust that God is shaping both you and your family one faithful step at a time. Would you subscribe to the Courageous Men podcast so you never miss an episode? Share this with a friend who needs the encouragement and the challenge to live courageously. Join the Courageous Men community today. I want to challenge you every day to be the courageous husband and father that God calls us to be. Let's take action. Let's be courageous.